Hi, I'm Kim Conway from A Centered Self, and I'm going to be doing some card readings for you today. I've picked two groups of cards, number 1 and 2, which I will show you in a moment. I'm using a few different decks. I'm using the Classic Tarot, and that's by Barbara Moore. I'm using Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Taylor. And we have Denise Linn's Soul Coaching cards. So I have two groups of cards. This is group number 1, and that will be reading number 1. And I have reading number 2. So just decide which one you're called for, and that will be your reading. So I'm going to start now with reading number 1. Our first card is the Hermit. And then we have the 7 of Wands. We have Woman Holding a Heart. And we have Healing. So beginning with the Hermit. So the Hermit tells me that you've been focusing a little bit too much on what's going on around you. And it's getting you a little bit overwhelmed and making you doubt yourself a bit. The Hermit is telling you to focus more now inward. Get out of your head and more into your heart, because it's in your heart, that's where your passions lie. And that is what connects you to your soul and your true desires. When we start focusing too much outside of ourselves, we allow those things to define who we are. But truly, we are defined by our own heart and our own soul. So this is a time to start looking inward. You might want to spend some more time alone, quiet time, meditating, even journaling, to really start focusing on what do I really want? What makes me excited? And what are those passions? Stay out of your head, because your head might tell you you can't do that, or it's going to be too complicated. It's not time to worry about the how-to yet. Just making the decision about what it is. The 7 of Thieves, it reinforces that message. This card is often about sneakiness or actually stealing. So it's telling you with the swords, get out of your head. You're spending too much time in your head and you're focusing on what other people are doing, and it's making you doubt your ideas. But again, go back inward, connect to your own heart, and stop paying attention to what's outside of you. Spend 90% inside and only 10% outside. And then you will feel more connected to your true passions and less concerned about what's going on around you. Because when you're concerned about what's going on around you, it acts like a stop sign for you. Now we have Woman Holding a Heart. And as you can see, she also has a butterfly on her head. So this is a card about emotions and transformation and change. When you focus in on your heart, you're going to start to realize who you really are. And it's going to feel joyful to you. And that is when you can start really changing your outlook on everything and changing how you feel about yourself and feeling a little more joy and a little more love towards yourself and confidence. We need all of those things to pursue our dreams. The last card is Healing. So healing is telling you to think about, where am I stuck? What is my stop sign? What prevents me from moving forward? Maybe there's some issues with trust. Maybe there's some issues with fear. Maybe there's some issues with your confidence. And when you figure out what those issues are, it's time to do some hard work and healing those struggles so that you can start to pursue forward with your dreams, feeling better about yourself, feeling more confident, and feeling more joyful. And that concludes reading number 1. And now I'm going to start reading number 2. Our first card is the 10 of Wands. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles, Victory, and Leadership. So the 10 of Wands tells me that you have a lot of ideas, and this is more about your profession, your career, your work. So many different options, so many different choices, and so many different ideas that sometimes that's too much of a good thing, and you don't know where to focus and you don't know where to start. It's feeling a little too heavy. So it's time to put some of those aside. And I'm not talking about discarding them because you may use them actually in the future. But make some choices about where do you want to start? What are the first steps? What are the first ideas that you want to put into action and want to unfold? So this is about making choices, maybe making some lists about what feels right to you and starting from there. And the Knight of Pentacles is different from some of the other knights because he's not in action. He's really methodical and logical. He's telling you to think through where you can logically begin and what ideas will bring you some positive results, because you're going to need some of those positive results to proceed forward and add in those other ideas that you have, building your confidence and actually having some success financially. As you do those things, we lead to the Victory card. The Victory card is very joyful. It's a time for celebration. It means that these ideas that you have, the things that you're wanting to do, are going to unfold positively for you if you do the work to make them come true. Next, we have leadership. So the leadership card tells me that as you're doing this, you're going to develop more confidence. You're going to get excited about your work. People are going to be looking at you, asking for some ideas and some advice. You're going to guide others as well as yourself. And you'll even start to gather the energy to go back to some of those original ideas and implement them as well. Lots of positive things in your future. Good things are coming. So that ends reading number 1 and reading number 2 for today. I'm glad that you joined me, and I look forward to doing this for you again soon. Have a lovely day.